but few people give the Bills much chance against the Patriots this year. Ever since John Hanna and Leon Gray returned to the team following their walkout, the Patriots have been nothing short of awesome. Following a 1-2 start, including consecutive 30-27 losses to the Jets and Browns, New England has rolled 4 straight opponents. And with a 5-2 record, Chuck Fairbanks' Patriots are in solid playoff contention again. They must, however, keep on winning as they face the Buffalo Bills in the NFL Game of the Week. A player of O.J. Simpson's caliber often obscures those who stand by as his replacements. In Buffalo's case, the mystery man wears number 25, second-year running back Roland Hooks. Hooks came into Sunday's game an unknown quantity. No strangers on the New England side, however, where Sam Cunningham and Don Calhoun, number 44, comprise the number 1 backfield tandem in the AFC. On their first possession, New England's big backs hurdled all obstacles, moving the ball out past the 40, from which point Steve Grogan launched perhaps the most unfortunate pass of his career. The pass fell incomplete, but in reaching for it, Patriot tight end Russ Francis exposed his rib cage to a blindside assault. The bitter consequences, Francis left the game with 4 broken ribs and will be lost to New England for an indefinite period of time. The incident gave the Patriot defense new incentive, which in turn made Bill quarterback Joe Ferguson a man on the run. But Ferguson survived this and several other scares, each time turning New England's over-anxiousness into Buffalo first downs. When pressure eased off a bit, Ferguson stood tall in the pocket and picked the middle clean. His favorite target on the day would be 4th-year tight end Reuben Gant, number 88. Gant recorded 2 receptions on Buffalo's second offensive possession, this one in the end zone. The Bills moved out to a surprising first-quarter lead in a game many expected to be a rout. Even more surprising than Buffalo's lead was New England's inability to run the football. The AFC's number 1 ground game couldn't turn the corner through most of period 1. Lucky for New England that Steve Grogan opted to throw over heavy traffic to keep the Patriots moving. Using his wide receivers to thin out Buffalo's pursuit, Grogan once again moved the Patriots into Bill territory. Only when Grogan abandoned his receivers and tried to force his ground attack did the Patriots falter. Somehow it didn't figure. The AFC's finest ground game unable to run against one of the league's more mediocre defenses, while Buffalo, minus O.J. Simpson, couldn't have run the football better. Asking a little-tested second-year running back to replace a future Hall of Famer is a tough order to fill, but Roland Hooks responded in a big way. Hooks navigated 66 stormy yards on this play. Another look reveals that number 67, Reggie McKenzie, got Hooks safely around the corner. Then Hooks was on his own. Hooks' cross-country sojourn carried the ball inside the Patriot 10. Moments later, dependable Jim Braxton followed McKenzie and company into the end zone as Buffalo widened its surprising first-quarter lead. Who said the Bills couldn't win without the juice? Buffalo's 14-point advantage lasted but a few seconds. The New England Patriots owned several of the finest kick return men in the business. Mike Haynes on punts and number 26, Raymond Clayborn, on kickoffs. Like anxious bettors at a thoroughbred track, Patriot fans rooted their yearling down the stretch on his 93-yard return. The University of Texas rookie hasn't cracked the starting lineup yet as a defensive back, but he's contributed in a big way as a return man, twice this season returning kickoffs the distance. Another look reveals that Clayborn hardly broke stride, picking up his interference near the right sideline, then bolting through it with an awesome display of speed. A period of frustrated opportunities ended with New England pulling to within 7. But New England's first period listlessness on the ground now became their second period inability to hang on to passes, even when they were perfectly thrown. On most days, number 87 Al Chandler can fill in nicely for the injured Russ Francis. Last Sunday was the exception. In desperation, Grogan looked to his wide receivers deep, but the Bills shut the air lanes down cold. Contrast Steve Grogan's sudden ineffectiveness with Joe Ferguson's continued success. On 4 second quarter possessions, Ferguson hit 9 passes for 133 yards, the longest being this 42-yard strike to rookie John Kimbrough. But each of the first 3 drives met with an untimely end. One on an underthrown ball, a second on a sack, and this one on a nifty interception by roving middleman Sam Hunt. Buffalo was moving the ball surprisingly well, but they were gathering no points for their efforts, a fatal flaw against a strong opponent like New England. But the Bills would get one more shot before halftime, for Steve Grogan's period-long doldrums persisted. Second-year corner man Mario Clark came down with this poorly thrown pass, then picked and plied his way into Patriot territory and back out of it. This time, Grogan's passing inefficiency would cost him, and the big quarterback knew it. Given another opportunity, Ferguson returned to his most successful first-half stratagem, a quick turn in over the middle to tight end Reuben Gant. Gant registered 7 receptions on the day, all of which came in the first 2 periods. With less than 2 minutes to play, Ferguson worked almost exclusively to Gant, moving to the Patriot 15. 4 seconds remain, plenty of time for kicker Carson Long to pad Buffalo's advantage. The analysts hadn't given them a chance, but as Buffalo left the field for intermission, one could sense an upset in the making. Trailing by 10, the Patriots, who had accumulated only 101 yards from scrimmage in the first half, desperately needed another spark. Clayborn would not go all the way on the opening kickoff of the second half, but his return to the 40 had New England in excellent field position. But Clayborn's return was cut in half by a penalty, and the early second half mistake was a harbinger of a woeful 30 minutes of football for the Patriots. It affected New England right down and through the special teams that never came close to duplicating Clayborn's 93-yard spectacular in the first half. The Bills, who had been so soft in yielding 56 points to the Seattle Seahawks a week before, became rock hard against New England. holding the conference's leading rushing team to a paltry 89 yards in the game and only 38 in the second half. The Bills, who last week gave up 4 touchdown passes by Jim Zorn, this week harassed Steve Grogan into an horrendous 9 for 27 for 128 yards. Buffalo defenders seem to have been in the Patriots' huddle. Faking blitzes and stunts, they managed to get back into their coverage zones to arrive at Grogan's receivers simultaneously with the ball, as the Bills' defense would actually yield only 1 touchdown to New England all day. Part of the problem for the Patriots was inspired play by the Buffalo defense, but also part of it was some pitiful passes by Grogan. Bills defenders were fighting each other, not the receiver, for the ball, and they managed to hold on to 4 interceptions, 3 in the second half, that killed any Patriot comeback hopes. The most damaging interception came on the second play from scrimmage in the second half, when Doug Jones dove for a low Grogan pass and returned it 24 yards for a touchdown. Jones' touchdown put the Bills on top 24-7, but just as important as the 17-point lead was the fact that it showed early in the half that the status quo was maintained. The Bills were not going to fold. A repeat of the play shows a great effort by Jones and a possible reason for his easy return. The Patriots maintained that Jones was down by the intended receiver Al Chandler, but officials ruled that Jones was not downed. Thus the play was still live. The early interception did not deter Grogan. Now more than ever, he needed a big play, but his very next pass sailed right to Buffalo defender Tony Green, who, startled by the uncontested easy interception, dropped the ball. Grogan still needed that one big play and almost got it when he went for speedy Darryl Stingley, who nearly made a spectacular catch. But it just wasn't to be for New England. A repeat of the play reveals a great effort by Stingley, but as was to be the case all day, the Patriots came away empty. The Bills, possessors of a 17-point lead, were in a much different situation. Ferguson would pass only 4 times in the second half, never risking an interception, taking the sack instead. Using Hooks in the same way they would O.J., Buffalo just tried to use up as much of the clock as they could. A repeat of this Hooks carry reveals that number 25 possesses some of the moves of number 32. He is shifty, fast, and quick on his feet, but he is also powerful. Note how Hooks gets an additional 4 yards after the initial hit on this play. Repeatedly running Hooks, Mike Collier, and Braxton, number 34, Buffalo ate up much of the time in the third quarter. New England chipped in with a roughing the kicker penalty that enabled Buffalo to use even more time. And when the Patriots finally got the ball, only 1 minute remained in the third quarter. The game was not entirely out of reach, and Grogan at last started connecting, moving the Patriots 32 yards on 2 16-yard passes to Stingley and Chandler. As the drive carried over into the fourth quarter, the Patriots got a break when Grogan threw another interception, but the Bills were detected interfering. New England gained 22 yards on the penalty and got to keep the ball. From the 10, Sam Cunningham scored New England's first offensive touchdown of the game. Cunningham's fumble was ruled to have been after the ball crossed the goal line, and the lead was cut to 24-14 with 12.5 minutes to go. The Patriots were still alive, but not quite so kicking after the Bills immediately used up 7 minutes as Hooks headed toward a 155-yard rushing day. When New England next got possession, now with only 5 minutes 44 seconds to go, Grogan and Cunningham were at it again. This drive, however, would end on Grogan's third interception of the game, and when the Patriots got possession with under 2 minutes to play, his fourth interception made it official. Mario Clark's second interception of the game completed an unbelievable 24-14 upset victory. The Bills were given no chance to win this game, what with O.J. Simpson gone from an already struggling team. But a man named Roland Hooks had taken the sting out of O.J.'s absence, at least for this day, and the Bills began to forge a new image for themselves. Perhaps a new team awareness will arise for the Bills, and as some have hinted, the unexpected loss of O.J. Simpson may be a blessing, for it will get them started on a successful overhauling sooner. They sure didn't look like the same team that lost to Seattle 56-17 just 1 week before their amazing victory over New England.